Hello patrons, and welcome to 2019. Although it won't sound like that when I say welcome to the December 2018 Patreon monthly exclusive video. This is December's, although it is being recorded and released on January 3rd. I would have had this out earlier in the day, but something came up, and I'll talk about what came up. It's a good thing, later on in this video. For now, let's talk about all the things that happened in December, and there were a lot of them. First thing is we released Saddle Quest, which is the Steven and Friends Minecraft series, 4-part series that we've been sitting on for quite a while. We've had this thing recorded for a bit. December was the month to release it, and we really enjoyed doing it. It seems like the audience really enjoyed watching it, which is exciting. It also gives us a reason to continue to do Minecraft content. I think that we'll probably do another Steven and Friends Minecraft series in 2019. Not sure exactly when that'll happen, but I think based on how Saddle Quest went, we would do something else. Probably a Complete the Monument. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's like an adventure map that's usually broken into different zones, and you have to find a specific item, usually from a treasure chest, in each of the zones. So there might be like 10 zones, and you have to get something from each zone, and once you do, you can complete the monument, and you win that map. So that's something that we're thinking about. It's very likely that that could happen in 2019. It would be a little different than Saddle Quest, but little different would be good. Saddle Quest was fun to do, but one of the difficulties is that we go out and just wander aimlessly, and we have no idea if we're going to find a saddle, so we'd probably not do something exactly the same again. Other things that happened in December, a top 10 video. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get a top 10 video out. Fortunately, I was. Obviously, it's a little different than last year's because last year's was very, very polished, and this year was more rambly because I didn't write a script, and also Dan had to handle the editing. I just couldn't do it. But basically, it was either having a really nice top 10 video and no Fallout, or the top 10 video that we got and Fallout. Which brings me to my next point, Fallout. My God, the last Fallout video that had come out was, I believe, near the end of August, so it was several months, but I finally got Fallout 266 out. I also have all of the footage recorded for 267, which makes me feel great, and I'm going to continue to put a very high priority on that. I'm basically going to be recording content to get ahead in Steven Plays so I can focus on Fallout again. I have a lot of things I want to work on. I have a lot of things I need to work on, such as the old timeline, but like Fallout has to go away. As I go into 2019, that's my focus, is that project has to end. It has been around for longer than it needed to be, so I'm going to continue to work hard and make that more or less my focus as we get started on 2019. I don't want that to linger too long. As soon as I get the time to finish 267, the rest of the Nora stuff should follow pretty quickly, and then we'll probably have another tiny hiatus while I finish up the finale. So we're near the end. Thank God. We are very, very close to the end of Fallout. I just want you guys to know that that's like at the front of my mind. That's the thing that I really want to focus on more than any of the other stuff in this video, is I gotta get Fallout finished. Yeah. Other things that happened in December, I know that Vlog's already out, but Christmas happened. Christmas was great. Hopefully your holiday season, whether you celebrate Christmas or another holiday, went awesome. We had a really great time. This Christmas was very special because Christmas and ChefCon were so close together. This entire holiday season has felt like just a giant vacation. It also helped that we've had like weeks worth of work done for a long time. We've had the entirety of December's content done, like for Steven Plays, since before December even began, with the exception of like the top 10 video and a few other things. So going into this holiday season, it really felt like a vacation, and I have felt truly relaxed. We've obviously produced a lot of stuff while ChefCon was going on, but it was still wonderful to hang out with my family. We had such a wonderful breakfast stream the morning of Christmas. It's just been it's been a really good month. December was fantastic, and I really appreciate all of the support and stuff that we got from you guys. It was great. Seriously, like best December ever, and I mean that. But that leads me into the last point for December, which was ChefCon. Holy crap! Now, obviously, those vlogs are still coming out. We had a lot of fun. It was fun to just see everybody again. It had been a while since we had seen anyone really. It'd been a few months since we've seen any of the folks at ChefCon. But it'd been, for example, Nick was here, and we saw him in May, but it had been years since we saw him for more than, an hour. So it was good to hang out with him. It was good to hang out with Thomas, and I'm sure you're very interested in what we recorded. So this is what we recorded. I lost count at some point, but I think we have 7 IRL Jackbox videos. I'm sad to report that we didn't record any Patently Stupid, which is a shame because we actually had Jeff brought extra equipment to do that, and we ran out of time to do it. It's very difficult to record with a lot of people. Like when you have a group recording of 10 people, corralling those people is very difficult. And trying to make sure that everyone is good and is capable of recording, and the group mentality is like positive and able to record content, that's extremely difficult. And Saturday, when we record stuff on Saturdays, it works pretty well because people go into it, people arrive at 9 p.m. Eastern with the mindset of we are going to record something. But when people are on vacation, people are here to relax, it is very hard to say, hey, I know everyone's like chilling and doing whatever. Now we're going to bring out lights and a camera and a microphone, and I need everyone to sit in a very specific way, and we're getting ready to do this thing. It's very hard to corral. And the reason I say all that is because there is more I wanted to do, and it was just not realistically feasible. But we still managed to get 7 Jackbox videos done, although we didn't do Patently Stupid, which next ChefCon, man, I want to do that so bad. We did 2 different Smash tournaments. We did a 8-player tournament similar to the one we did in Boston a few years ago. Basically 8 players, 1 stock. As soon as someone dies, we go down to 7, and then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That came out really good. Then we did, I know I talked about it last month, we did do a tournament for Squad Strike. So this is 1v1, and I think we had items on low. I think we kept items on low, and Final Smash meter was on. But you get to choose 3 different characters, and they come out seamlessly, and you fight 1v1. That went really well, and that is basically geared more towards the serious crowd. It's definitely not a competitive video, and if you're expecting competitive play, you should watch competitive players. But if anyone felt that the 8-player 1 stock thing was just way too casual, then they'll probably really enjoy the Squad Strike tournament. And we're going to try and get the Smash stuff out on Steven Plays a lot sooner than this other stuff. We're going to be releasing these Jackbox videos for months, just because there are so many of them. But the Smash stuff we're probably going to try and release sooner rather than later. We also recorded a Q&A. It is really great. I'm super happy with how that turned out. People got to give a lot of interesting answers to these questions. It turned out really good. Dan has the footage now, and I know he's working on it. I have a feeling that'll be out real soon. Maybe by the end of the week. If not, very soon after. So stay on the lookout. That'll be on Steven Plays, obviously, or Steven Vlog. And I'm just really happy with it because we've never done a Q&A with that many people. And I think it's filmed well, and I think the answers are good, and the questions were good, and I'm just looking forward to everyone enjoying that. And then also, we attempted to record something, and it's not going to be coming out because it was just completely unusable. But I'm mentioning it because it's in the vlog. We talk about it in the vlog. We attempted to do a group recording for Death Road to Canada, and it did not work. We had to scrap the video, and it's very rare that sort of thing happens. But there were 2 big problems. The first problem was we've got 8 or 10 people. The idea was that we would put everyone into the game, and then Mal and I would start in 2-player mode, but the game now supports 4 players. So as you find more people, they can actually play as players 3 and 4, which is really cool. The issue was Mal and I start, and we're doing okay. We're not doing the best. We're doing okay. We're running into some scenarios that are a little difficult, but we're surviving. We finally get to the first character, and it's not anyone in our group. And the mode that we're playing on says most characters you find will be your family and friends that you've created. And it was such a punch in the gut to work towards that and then it not even be someone in the group. And I was like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. And then we continued, and it was like a sudden difficulty spike. We ran into a bad situation, and Mallory and I both died. And I was like, this is not good. This is really not good. But we passed the controllers over to Dan and Alex, and they tried, and they had never played the game before, and they did not last half as long as we did, and they died. Then we gave the controller to Paul and Will, and they died in half the time that Alex and Dan died. So it was like everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong, and group morale for that recording went boom. It was like, we can't do this. So that video had to be scrapped. The other problem, which made it almost impossible to even play the game, and this is a problem with the game, is that for whatever reason, when you start on a map, I guess it's because of this new 4-player mode, you have all of the controllers synced because we're playing on Steam, and when you get into a map, you have to choose your character, because by default, it's like whoever moves the stick first or something, is controlling a character, and the other person is controlled by the CPU. It's really terrible and stupid. It takes a few seconds for you to even figure out what you're doing, and you have to do it every single time you transition to a different map. Anyway, sorry that was a long explanation, but I just wanted you to understand that if you were looking forward to Death Road to Canada, don't. It's not coming out. There are way too many problems with it. Maybe at some point, since we have everyone already in the game, maybe me and Mal will stream it and try and beat it, just me and her. But as far as a group recording, it did not work. A group recording that did work, though, is we did record more Mario Party, so that's exciting. We did one with me, Dan, Alex, and Nick, kind of like a throwback to college, since we all went to college together. And then I did one with me, Chaz, Jeff, and Paul. So the four of us got a chance to play as well. So Mal wasn't in either of those. Mal will be in most of them, but those particular videos, it was just me and 3 others. But Mario Party is nearing conclusion. We just have a few more boards to record, and then we'll be able to start releasing those on Steven Plays at some point in the future. Speaking of the future, let's talk about what's happening in January. First things first, and I am so sorry it's taken me this long to do this. GTA Online Doomsday Heist is coming. It is releasing in January. This was a decision that Chaz helped me make, honestly. We were looking at the schedule together while he was here, and we basically have this problem where we've recorded too much stuff because we have GTA Online that has been waiting to be released. Now we have all of this Extra Life, all the Extra Life VODs, are waiting to be released. And we desperately need to get some of this stuff out. So even though December was a great time for Smash and Red Dead, and we've had 2 slots, about halfway through January, we're going to transition back to 3 slots. That means that you'll only have 2 episodes of Smash and 2 episodes of Red Dead a week, but it means that you'll get 2 episodes of the Doomsday Heist, so that is going to start releasing. The schedule is going to keep the 1-1-2-2-3-3 format, so instead of getting an episode of Smash and then waiting a few days for Smash to come out, you'll get Smash on Saturday and Sunday. And then on Monday and Tuesday, you'll get GTA Online. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, you'll get Red Dead. So it's going to be, if there's a series that you like, you'll get them back to back, which I think I think might be better. But Doomsday Heist is a 9-episode series. The episodes are long, though. They're much closer to 40 minutes. It is hilarious. It is really good. We've been sitting on it for a long time, and I'm glad to finally have it out. My plan had been to originally follow up Fallout with Doomsday, but Fallout took way too long, and now Fallout is in a completely different slot because it's coming out Sunday nights whenever it's ready. So it doesn't make sense to sit on this any longer. We need to get this out. So we're pushing Doomsday out, and you'll finally be able to watch it this month, which is exciting. Obviously, in January, you're going to get more Red Dead and more Smash. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, and I'm sure you may have noticed it if you've been watching Smash Ultimate, my Switch, I'm pretty sure my Switch is is broken. I think it has a problem where when it's docked, it crashes. You guys have seen that happen in World of Light, but like there's been times where we've played on my Switch docked, both in this dock and then the other dock, which is in the living room, and like in the span of 30 minutes, just playing for fun, just playing Smash for fun, in the span of 30 minutes it has crashed like 5 or 6 times. That's not good. That's very bad. And it never crashes in portable mode. And I've been reading up on this a little bit, and it sounds like it's just the Switch itself. Like it could be faulty RAM or something with the GPU or whatever, but more than likely I'm going to have to send it in to get fixed. And that sucks. And I've waited until after ChefCon, Con, so I got to deal with this in the next few days. But yeah, it's not ideal. So I might try and record another few episodes on it just to see, but I have a feeling that what's going to happen is I'm going to transfer my account to Mal's Switch, because it'll transfer like all of your save data and everything, and then the LP will continue on her Switch. It'll still be my account, and the viewers will be none the wiser. It'll be, you know, all the same stuff, but we're going to have to do that while I send my Switch in to get fixed. And I don't know how much it's going to cost. I know it's definitely out of warranty because it's actually a launch model, and I guess we'll find out. We'll find out soon. But I'll take care of that, and again, it shouldn't affect the content. And that's the big important thing, is we'll continue to play World of Light and continue to, you know, advance in the story. And I'm really loving it. Just having a hard time beating some of the 4-star guys. Other things happening in January, I am happy to announce that, at least tentatively, Emil and Massey will be visiting. Every December or January, we have been going to Atlanta to visit them and celebrate, you know, the holidays and stuff with them. This year, we're switching it up. We are bringing them up here to chill with us. And it's a little close to ChefCon. We've kind of tried to space it out as much as possible, so we've only really given ourselves like 2 to 3 weeks. But sometime around the middle to end of January, they are supposed to, at least, be visiting here, and we're looking forward to having them. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you have any suggestions for content that you'd like to see recorded with them, you can let me know. I suspect we'll probably do something with them with Mario Party, and then maybe Smash or something like that. But if there's anything, you know, overtly that you're like, oh, I want to see that, then let me know. On that note, I know that a lot of people, and I feel bad, it was actually the most requested content for ChefCon was to record board game stuff, board game and card game. We didn't even play board games or card games, which is unusual for our group. But there was so much to do, and I think people just really wanted to play Smash while they were here, that we never even played board games or card games until New Year's Eve. There was a group that ended up playing a few card games, and that was it. And that's really weird for ChefCon. Normally we have like a table out and people are playing board games, you know, pretty regularly, and that did not happen this year. So if you were hoping for board game, card game stuff, I apologize. It is unfortunately a big pain to try and record that sort of content, but we weren't able to do anything for ChefCon this time. And we even missed out on some recordings that I wanted to do, but again, that goes back to mentality of getting people together to actually record stuff and how difficult that can be. But Emil and Massey will be here in a few weeks. If you have something that you'd love to see the four of us do, we will certainly consider it. It'll be based on how much time we have and their willingness to do that. Other things happening in January. This is a really big one. And if you are a patron of Mal's, you probably already know about this, but Mal Makes is changing formats in a pretty big way. She is actually going to be changing things to, I guess the easiest way to explain it is she's going to be making more videos. This is something she wanted to do in 2018, and it just never happened. The goal for 2018 was that on her off weeks, because she releases 2 paintings a month, on the off weekends, she would release videos that kind of gave other instruction stuff, like how to choose a paintbrush, or how to varnish a painting, or how to package a painting, etc. She wanted to do these other videos, and she needed to do these other videos, to be honest, because with the way the YouTube algorithm works, if you're not releasing something at least once a week, you can't grow on the platform. That's just how it works. Like your channel cannot get any bigger. And her growth felt really stunted in 2018 because she's making beautiful stuff, but YouTube's not picking any of it up. And I'm like, well, that's not the way it should be, you know. I want her channel to grow and be successful, more successful than mine. If we can make it happen, I think that'd be great, because I love what she's doing and I believe in what she's doing, and I want to help her as much as I can. So, using 2018 as an example and realizing that there is simply no time to make these other videos, Mao has decided to change the format quite a bit and actually drop down from doing 2 paintings a month to just 1 painting a month. And I know that information is more in detail on her Patreon, on her Patreon account, but that's going to be happening in 2019. So what that means is that there will be 1 less painting to watch and 1 less painting to bid on. It also means that if you want a Mao Makes original, they are, I guess, technically a little harder to get because there's going to be fewer of them in a year. But what that does mean is that there's going to be more Mao Makes videos. And she's going to be focusing on art stuff, obviously. But she's also very interested in tackling different mediums. So not just acrylic painting every time, but doing other things. And she's interested in maybe branching out from stuff that's not strictly art. So could there be a cooking video that shows up on Mao Makes at some point in 2019? Absolutely. And I think this is going to be good for Mao too, because she has felt, I mean, realistically, she's felt a little stressed just for the fact that just getting out 2 paintings a month can sometimes be dauntingly difficult. And like doing that, and then throughout the entirety of 2018 having this mindset of, but we really want to do more, you know, we want to put stuff in between these weeks, has been really difficult for her. So I'm hoping that by changing these formats up a little bit, Mao Makes will, for one, be able to grow, which I think is important, but then also she'll be able to explore more things and get more out of it. You know, self-fulfillment is something that's very important in what we do, and I know Mao gets a lot out of making these paintings, but I want her to feel, you know, fulfilled in, you know, her channel and the other aspects of what she does. So I'm hoping that this is going to help. And then finally, the reason this video was late today, I finally ordered that camera. Remember that camera a few months ago, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, and I was really excited about it, and then they finally released it, and it's been back-ordered forever. Well, it's still back-ordered forever, but luckily today I checked Amazon, and there was 1 on there. They pop up occasionally, but they're always well over MSRP, and today 1 was on there at MSRP from a reputable dealer, and I snatched it up. And I'm very excited. It's supposed to be here Sunday. So I grabbed that, and then that really threw my day for a loop because I wasn't expecting to see that, and I had to suddenly make some serious decisions about all the accessories. Just like I didn't have an extra lens to throw on it, and I didn't have some of the other stuff that you need for this camera. So I did just a lot of research today about making sure about what I wanted to get. I actually went with some stuff that I felt made a little more sense, in terms, like, for cost, just for the fact that one of the best lenses that you can get for this camera as a micro four thirds lens is the one that Mao is using for Mao Makes, because it has a variable zoom. It's 12 to 35 millimeters. With 4K crop, I guess that's doubled. It's like 24 to 70. But I didn't want to buy another lens that we already had. I was like, you know, and they're very expensive. Those lenses are really, really pricey. And I was like, well, we already have one. If we absolutely needed it, we could just take it off of Mao's GH4. So instead, I went with something way cheaper, and I actually got a 20 millimeter prime. 20 millimeters might seem like an odd size for those of you who know your cameras, but this is got a crop factor of basically 2, so it's more like a 40 millimeter. And honestly, with how close we generally have the camera during breakfast stream, we need something that is a little wider like that. I started by looking at a 25 millimeter, which would be a 50 millimeter equivalent, and like that is not going to work. The camera has to be so far away to get us in the frame, and I was like, this could work, but the minute we have more people join us, for example, Emile Massé later in January, it won't work. So yeah, I ordered some stuff. It should all, or mostly all, be here Sunday, and I'm really looking forward to playing around with it. If I can, I'll have all that stuff set up and ready for breakfast stream on Tuesday, but more realistically, it might be next Thursday. And last but certainly not least, let's talk about what's happening in the future. First things first, Resident Evil 6. I know that we put that onto hiatus just because there was a really great stopping point, because there's 4 stories. We completed 2 of them. Said, let's just stop here. I still plan to bring that back, but with us now doing Doomsday and also having to think about Extra Life, because, I mean, let's be honest, we don't want to delay Extra Life too much longer, because we want people to remember what the event was. I don't know exactly when we're going to bring Resident Evil 6 back. It will come back, and I think that I've established enough goodwill in projects that that I won't abandon it, but I'm not sure when that's going to be. There's so many other things that we're trying to do that the idea of bringing in another 30 episode, series, or the second half of the series, is a little daunting. So I'm just going to continue to have that on pause, because I'm not sure when that's going to happen. Similarly, I haven't forgotten about what we've affectionately been calling Mario in the Morning, where we play through Mario Maker 3DS. I haven't forgotten about that, but right now there's some other stuff that's on the burner that needs to be dealt with before we jump into something like that. So I'm just, again, these things are just kind of on pause until I can get things a little bit more taken care of. Once I get January scheduled out and Fallout the wheels of Fallout start to turn again, I think I'll feel a little more comfortable. Hopefully by the next Patreon video, I'll be able to talk about that a little more freely. But right now, I'm just I'm aware of it. It's just not going to come out yet. Same thing with Extra Life. Like I said, I really don't want to hold Extra Life for too much longer. At the worst, I think it might replace Doomsday. At the best, it might come out in addition to other content, but I want to get far enough ahead that I feel comfortable doing that, basically. Again, almost everything. It's like all of these things are planets, and the sun is Fallout, and I need to blow up the sun. It's probably not the best metaphor, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say. Other things. D&D, which hopefully I got your attention. D&D is something that has been lacking in the channel for some time, and it's something that I'm still very passionate about. And recently, I'm not sure if the mail video has come out yet, but recently we were sent a big box of minis, and I sincerely appreciated it. It was just such a kind gesture. It was just probably 100 or 200 minis for D&D or these tabletop games, and I just said, man, Mal, I want to do D&D again. We got to figure this out. So we've come up with a plan that I think is going to work for everyone's schedules. Right now, when we do Lunch Bunch, we usually do a pretty extended lunch. We meet at 12, and we normally go till at least 2. Most lunches are at least 2 hours. Just because this is kind of our social time. This is when we get to talk to people and stuff. And we're thinking that maybe, and it wouldn't be immediate, it may not even be until we get back from Japan, in April. But we're thinking that this year, we may do D&D on Wednesdays. And we totally understand that it's not a convenient time to watch, in terms of doing a live stream. We understand. But that is something that would work well for us. So the idea is that we would do a short lunch. We'd still do Lunch Bunch, but it'd be a short thing. And then we would come back here and we would stream 2 hours of D&D. Because if we did that, then we could still do 8 hours a month, but it wouldn't be 8 hours in a day. If you've never done any sort of tabletop game, you don't want to do 8 hours in a day. Trust me. The first 2 to 3 hours are good, pretty solid, everyone's into it. It immediately, just dips. The quality of everyone's performance and everything just dips after that. So I'm thinking that D&D will probably return in 2019. It'll probably be live streamed on Twitch, and it'll probably be Wednesday afternoons. Again, I'm totally aware that's not an ideal for time for people. That's just when we could do it. I don't know when that'll happen. I'll have more information as we get closer, but I've run this idea by people in our Lunch Bunch group, and they really like it. And I think it's very feasible that that's something that could happen. And it might be one of those things like not everyone is there every week, so there might be people kind of dropping in and out. But at least it would allow us to do D&D again, and that is what I want. That's the thing that I want to happen. Let's see, what's the other thing? I have another bullet point that's like, make sure you mention that Fallout retains priority, but I think you guys realize that. When that finishes up, by the way, when Fallout's finally done, I think there's going to be a bit of a metamorphosis for Stephen Plays, because I think what's going to happen is we're going to start transitioning some stuff to Twitch. There's some games, some series that we've wanted to do that I think would work for a live stream format. And, this is definitely several months away, obviously, so we'll be talking more about it as it gets closer. But the idea would be that we would take some of the games and series that we plan to do Let's Plays on and stream them instead. Those videos would be, still very high quality. We'd make sure that we did everything in our power to make sure that they felt, like pre-recorded content that you watched on YouTube, but they would be streamed and then those episodes would come to YouTube. There's also a lot of times where we have to limit ourselves in the amount that we record because we need to wait for tips and tricks from viewers. And I know obviously backseat gaming is a big no-no on Twitch, but there's occasions where we could actually benefit from some of that interaction. We would be able to continue to play a game and not be like, okay, we recorded 3 episodes, we really got to stop because we need to wait to get comments. Instead, we could stream it and we could get live feedback from folks in case we need help, and then we could just keep going. We could get more done, and honestly, we could play more games. It's one of my big things for 2019 is to play more games, and I know that that's going to happen via streaming. Speaking of which, you probably already saw the video about it, since we've talked about it during ChefCon, and it was also the subject of a breakfast stream. There's a streaming machine coming. I've been working with Jeff to let him know exactly what I'm looking for and what I want to do and what this machine needs to do. But we are building a custom PC that the only thing it does is stream and record. That's it. Like it's going to be running Windows. It's going to be running probably OBS. And the idea is that, it doesn't have to do video editing. It doesn't have to do gaming. It doesn't need a good GPU. It just needs the other power, whether that be CPU or hardware encoding, to do streaming and to do it well. And if that doesn't say that we're serious about getting into gaming on Twitch, I'm not really sure what does. And then last but certainly not least, this is mostly just a reminder, we're going to Japan. If this is your first Patreon video, there is some information maybe in the last Patreon video that may interest you, but the quick version is that the next ChefCon is ChefCon Japan, and it takes place April 1st, which means it is 3 months away. Wow. Like everyone just left. But I will see almost everyone again in 3 months when we are in Japan. It's an exciting year. It really is. There's a lot of stuff happening, and I'm so happy I got the stupid camera. I wanted this camera for such a long time. I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of like big dream type stuff for 2019, and a lot of it again comes back to planet smashing or sun smashing, Fallout, and getting that over with. But as I get stuff done every month, I'll keep you guys in the loop, and we'll see what happens. I think 2019 is going to be different. It's our 10th year of vlogging. It's our 9th year of doing Let's Plays, and there's going to be some shifts, but I think there are going to be shifts for the better. I think we're going to be able to create more content than before, and we're going to try and organize things in such a way that we can do that and not, kill ourselves, basically. And if we can figure out that, then I think we'll have a really successful 2019. So I'm hopeful. Anyway, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for supporting. Again, this should be obvious, but we could not do the things that we do without you. The amount of support that we have received from you guys over the years has been immense and so appreciated. And we really love making things bigger and better. That might be obvious, but we want to continue to up our game every every month. You know, like if there's a camera that can make things look better, if there's a microphone that can make things sound better, if we can organize things in such a way, if we can build a streaming machine where we can do live streams more often, everything is basically, you know, as best we can, getting funneled back into what we do to create better stuff. And I just sincerely appreciate you guys allowing us the opportunity to do that. And I'm glad that you enjoy watching our stuff, that you want to see more. So thanks for making 2018 spectacular, and together we're going to make 2019 something special. Anyway, as always, leave comments down below in the Patreon comment section if you have any comments or questions, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, I will see you next month for another Patreon video.